That's so funny. I didn't know that yoga pants were so dangerous.
Yeah, who'd have thought that something so regularly occurring could be one of the most dangerous things on campus? Absolutely baffling.
Yeah. So, good morning and welcome to the educational portion of our broadcast. What do we have going on today?
Well, we're going to get to hear about two of Purdue's reasonably popular majors, aeronautical and astronautical engineering, and computer graphic design. These two programs are very different. We're going to get to hear about what it takes to get into them, why someone would want to be in these majors. We're going to get to know the campus a little bit better. And most of all, we're just going to get to see Purdue, which is always fun. So, which major are you excited to hear about?
I'm most excited to hear about the computer graphics technology course. It's something that I've always been interested in.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be a really cool major that I haven't heard much about. It's going to be nice to hear something about it for a change. Why don't we go live to our reporters on the scene? So I am here in Armstrong Hall to talk about aeronautical and astronautical engineering. This type of engineering is specifically the branch that uses math and science to create, design, test, experiment on anything that flies or moves through the air. So anything that doesn't transfers power through the ground, basically. It's based in Armstrong Hall of Engineering, which is where we are now. Aeronautic engineering is more centered on planes and other things that are going to fly in the atmosphere. So they're going to be in air, surrounded by gas, can generate lift there. So everything in the atmosphere that flies would be considered aeronautic. Astronautical is the other side of that, anything that is going to get out of the atmosphere, fly high enough to be considered in outer space. The term aerospace has been coined to be an overarching term of the two disciplines and is often used as a replacement for aeronautical and astronautical. Even though it's a fairly specific branch of engineering, the areas you study is a pretty wide variety of topics. The math and physics curriculum is pretty intense, just like every other branch of engineering. However, you will do a lot more dynamics physics than in most other engineerings where it would be a lot of statics. In other words, you're doing changing systems instead of static systems. This really separates it from most other engineering programs. The most advanced required math and science for the course is MA 304 and Physics 241. The only other specifically required science class is CGT 163. Foreign language is not required. The plan of study shows that it requires 18 general electives. Graduates of aerospace tend to do aircraft design and development. However, because of the amount of technical electives in this major, there's a lot of different jobs you could go into. If you do extra technical electives in propulsion systems, you could specify on the engine and work on those. You could do extra on aircraft design and be a designer. There's several different spots you could fit. According to the SDS code, aerospace engineers should have an IRE code, which makes this a good fit for me since that is my code. The Armstrong Hall of Engineering is in the north end of the Engineering Mall.
Hi, we're here at the College of Technology at Conoy Hall at Purdue University. It is the college that houses the Computer Graphics Technology program. In this major, you learn about different ways to design things on the computer, such as parts of a machine or animating things, gaming, web, anything that has to do with designing things on the computer. The jobs that you can go into in this field include anything from a construction designer, an animator such as Pixar, DreamWorks, and the Disney Imagineers, to gamers and other types of animating or game design or even web design. In the plan of study, it talks about the different types of computer graphics courses, math courses, and science courses. The highest math course a student has to take in CGT is Math 1601, which is applied calculus. The science courses a student has to take is Physics 218 and Tech 120. Also, students have to take Com 114 and English 106 for the English majors, for the English courses. You don't need a foreign language in this course, so if you don't like foreign language, you might want to think about this plan of study. For the CODO, there is almost no requirements. Each application is looked at individually, and students are let in based on those criteria. What you learn in this major, it has to do mainly with different types of graphics and learning just a bunch of different ways to do things, because certain areas might include a lot of different 2D design, 3D design, or even animating, even when you don't think your job may have to animate. Also, what students learn is how to work with computers, because students like me sometimes aren't so good with computers and we need a little bit of help. So they teach you how to work better with computers and make them work the way you want them to. So that's it about our computer graphics course. Wow, those are really interesting majors and such a pretty campus.
Yeah, I didn't know that Purdue offered that.
Yeah, both courses seem so technical, and their Holland codes both have to do with realisticness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they're also really different. Sorry, excuse me. While the Holland codes are similar, both of them are really differently organized, putting a different priority on stuff. And while one has investigative, one has artistic, kind of showing different sides of the technical mentality needed. There are also really different types of programs. You can tell by the CODO requirements. The engineering program has a 3-2 CODO requirement to get in because it's a massive school, well-established, been here for a really long time, whereas the computer graphics design program is probably newer. It's an individual basis for the CODO requirements, as was said in the video. So it really shows the different types of people in the program and like what the program's more about. Also, I saw it was a really different kind of going back to what the Holland Code was about. There's a much heavier math and science requirement for the engineering course, whereas for the computer graphics design course, it was a lot more thought process oriented, artistic, and it's really cool because you're kind of setting up your own physics, I guess, in the programming.
So that's it for our broadcast. Thanks for watching, and good night.